Imagine waking up one morning, living your life, working hard, raising your family, maybe even dreaming of becoming a US citizen someday. And then you get a knock on the door. Or worse, you get a letter in the mail, not from your employer, not from your landlord, but from US Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE. And the reason? You made one mistake, one bad decision. You got behind the wheel after having a few drinks. You thought you were okay. You thought you'd get a ticket, pay a fine, maybe spend a night in jail. But what you didn't know, what no one told you, is that in 2024, and even more so in 2026, a DUI, driving under the influence, can now destroy your immigration future. And a new law, House Resolution 875, is about to make things even worse. This isn't fear-mongering, this is real, this is urgent. And if you have a green card, if you're applying for one, if you're living here on any kind of visa, or if you're even thinking about staying in the United States long-term, you need to hear this, right now. I'm James, your trusted immigration expert from Immigration News Today, and today I'm issuing a final warning to every immigrant in America. A DUI is no longer just a traffic offense. It is now a potential deportable crime. It is a red flag in your immigration record. And if you don't take this seriously, if you don't understand the risks, if you don't protect yourself starting today, you could lose everything. Your green card, your visa, your right to live here, your future. Let's start with the facts, because this is not something you want to learn the hard way. A DUI, driving under the influence, can make you deportable. That's right. Even if it's your first offense, even if no one got hurt, even if you weren't speeding, even if it was just a bad night. Under current U.S. immigration law, a DUI can be classified as a crime involving moral turpitude, CIMT, or in certain cases, an aggravated felony, especially if your blood alcohol level was extremely high, if there was an accident, if someone was injured or killed, or if you have multiple offenses on your record. And once your DUI is labeled as one of those categories, you are at serious risk of deportation, even if you have a green card. Now, you might be thinking, but James, I've had my green card for years. I've never had any problems. I pay my taxes. I work hard. I'm not a criminal. And I believe you. Most people who get a DUI are not criminals. Most people make a mistake. But here's the harsh reality. The U.S. immigration system does not treat DUIs like regular mistakes. It treats them like evidence that you might be a danger to the community, or that you're not of good moral character. And both of those things can disqualify you from becoming a U.S. citizen. Worse, they can lead to the revocation of your green card and your deportation. And now, in 2024, with House Resolution 875 making its way through Congress, things are about to get even more dangerous for immigrants. Now, I want to be clear, as of right now, H.R. 875 has not yet passed into law, but it has strong bipartisan support. It has been discussed in committee, and if it becomes law, it will expand the ways in which a DUI can be used against you in immigration court. It could make it easier for prosecutors to label a DUI as a serious crime. It could make it harder for you to defend yourself. And it could mean that even a first-time DUI with no injuries could lead to deportation proceedings. Let me say that again. A first-time DUI with no accident, no injury, no one else involved, could, under this new proposed law, be used as grounds to start deportation proceedings against a green card holder. That's how serious this is. That's how much the rules are changing. And if you think, well, I don't drink, or that's not me, then good for you. But this still affects you, because someone in your family might drive drunk. Someone you love might make this mistake. Someone in your community might not know the risks. And if you're not informed, if you're not prepared, if you're not watching this channel and sharing this information with others, then people are going to get hurt. People are going to lose their status. People are going to get deported. And it's going to be because they didn't know. So, what do? How do you protect yourself? How do you make sure a DUI doesn't destroy your immigration future? Let's break this down step by step, because you need to know exactly what's at stake, who's affected, and what actions you must take right now. First, if you have a green card and you've been arrested for a DUI, even if it was just last night, you need to take action immediately. Do not wait. Do not assume it's no big deal. Contact an experienced immigration attorney. Not just any lawyer, not a public defender, not someone who doesn't specialize in immigration law. You need someone who understands how a DUI interacts with immigration law, how it can affect your permanent residency, and how to defend you in front of an immigration judge. Here's why. When you're arrested for a DUI, the police report, the court records, the blood alcohol test results, all of that becomes part of the public record, and USCIS, ICE, and the courts can and will see it. If you're applying for citizenship, if you're renewing your green card, if you're trying to adjust status or bring a family member to the United States, that DUI is going to show up. And if it's not handled properly, if you don't have the right legal defense, it could be used against you. Second, if you have not been arrested but you drink and drive, or you've driven after having a few drinks, even if you think you're okay, stop. I know this sounds harsh, but I'm not here to judge you. I'm here to save your life, your family, your future. A DUI is not worth it. The risks are too high. The consequences are too severe. Call a rideshare. Call a friend. Take a taxi. Do whatever you have to do, but do not get behind the wheel after drinking, because one mistake could cost you everything. Now, let's talk about what happens if you've already been convicted of a DUI. What if it's on your record? What if you're not sure how it affects your immigration status? First, go to the official USCIS website. Use Case Status Online to check your case, your green card status, your pending applications. Look for any red flags. Look for requests for evidence. Look for anything that might indicate your immigration status is being reviewed. Then, gather all your documents, your arrest record, your court documents, your DUI conviction paperwork, your green card, your passport, anything that shows your legal status in the United States. Bring them to an immigration attorney. Have them review your case. Have them tell you exactly what risks you're facing. Because depending on the details of your DUI, when it happened, what your blood alcohol level was, whether anyone was hurt, how many times you've been arrested, the risks could range from minor to catastrophic. And here's something else you need to know. A DUI can affect your ability to become a U.S. citizen. When you apply for naturalization, you have to prove that you have good moral character for the last 5 years, or 3 years if you're married to a U.S. citizen. A DUI can call that into question. It can lead to a denial of your citizenship application. It can delay your oath ceremony. It can even lead to a revocation of your green card if USCIS decides you're not fit to be a citizen. And let's not forget about advance parole and travel risks. If you have a pending green card application, or if you're on certain types of visas, and you get arrested for a DUI, you could be denied permission to travel outside the United States. If you do travel, and you're stopped at the border with a DUI on your record, you could be denied reentry. You could be detained. You could be placed in removal proceedings. And once you're in that system, it is incredibly difficult to get out. So, what's the bottom line? What do you need to do right now to protect yourself and your family? Number 1, if you have a DUI, or if you've been arrested for drunk driving, contact an immigration attorney immediately. Do not wait. Do not assume it's not a big deal. It is. Number 2, if you have a green card, check your immigration status regularly using USCIS Case Status Online. Know where you stand. Know if there are any issues. Know if USCIS is reviewing your case. Number 3, do not drive under the influence. Not once. Not ever. The risks are too high. The consequences are too severe. Number 4, stay informed. Watch this channel. Subscribe. Turn on notifications. Because the laws are changing. The rules are getting stricter. And if you're not paying attention, you could miss something critical. Something that could cost you your future. And finally, if you're watching this video and you're scared, if you're confused, if you're not sure what to do, know that you're not alone. There are people who can help. There are attorneys who specialize in immigration law. There are organizations that provide free or low-cost legal services. And there's this channel, Immigration News Today, where we're fighting every single day to give you the information, the guidance, and the truth you need to protect your immigration status and achieve the American dream. So if you found this video helpful, if you learned something new, if you're feeling more prepared, more aware, more in control, then please do me a favor. Like this video. Subscribe to Immigration News Today. Turn on notifications so you never miss an update. And leave a comment below with your questions, your concerns, or the immigration topic you want us to cover next. Because the fight for your future is not over. And if you're living in the United States, if you're working hard, if you're contributing to your community, if you're trying to build a better life for yourself and your family, then you deserve to know what's happening. You deserve to be prepared, and you deserve to succeed. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next video.